everyone, welcome to the Queendom. I'm Sarah Ingle, but today I don't look like Sarah Ingle, I look like Mal from Descendants 2. So stick around and you can see how to transform yourself into Mal 2. The makeup look we're doing is technically Mal from Descendants 2. I know Descendants 3 is about to come out, but I actually bought the costume for this probably like a year and a half ago because you guys have been asking for a Mal makeup tutorial for a very long time. So we're doing a Descendants 2 look, and they're very similar, like the makeup anyways. The hair is different. That's something I don't get. Tell me in the comments what you think of the fact that Mal's hair is now basically blue in the new Descendants. Like, that's confusing to me. Like, Evie is the one with blue hair, not Mal. What happened? What happened?
What happened?
So we're just gonna jump right into things and get started with our Mal makeup. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the really ghostly palest one of all? So we're gonna just make sure we start off with a clean face. In my case, no makeup on, no primer, no anything. I do have moisturizer on, but that is about it. So let's start off by priming our faces. This is Smashbox Photo Finish. It's an oil-free, and I feel like everybody uses these. I have them in several different types, so you don't need a lot of this. But just kind of pat it all on your face. I pat it and then I just rubbed it. Since I've got the primers out, I'm gonna go ahead and prime the eyeshadow as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure everything is nice and primed. Mal has pale skin, and I noticed this because she actually even specifically makes a comment about it. So if you are in between shades, you might want to veer for your lighter foundation for this look. So I've got two different things here. You guys can use whatever your favorite foundation is. I'm gonna start with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. Believe it or not, I actually do have a beauty blender out here, but I just like using my fingers. And I'm gonna mix them up. Using a little bit of both and add a little bit of the wax-based RCMA colors. Any areas where I feel like need just a little bit extra coverage. All right, so I'm gonna also take some of this. It's basically just white. I happen to have a shadow under here, and Dove Cameron does not. So I'm just canceling that out. But I'm taking lighter and putting it here because she has really full cheeks. I find it's really handy to reference photos, so I do have photos saved onto my phone that I can pull up anytime that I need to see a reference of her face. Also taking some of the light and putting it around the mouth. This varies for every person, so I can give commentary on what works for me, but it's gonna be a little bit different for you. And again, you can compare your face to hers to see the difference. Her jaw might be up just a little bit higher and a little more in right through here than mine. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the dark and put it just right here. In fact, I might even use a brush for this. Focus on this cheek illusion a little bit and put some dark underneath the cheekbones. And it's gonna look a little crazy at first, but we'll blend it all in. I'm pulling in some of that light. You wanna make sure when you do put dark under here to make the cheeks look more pronounced, that you pull some light underneath that so that it doesn't pull your cheeks down, make them like look droopy. You can smile and see. You can smile and see a little bit now. This is a normal smile. I'm gonna draw like a little line right here and here because she kind of has this dimply area. A lot of this times this color corrector, people use it underneath, but sometimes when I'm doing transformative, I put it on top. I'm taking some of this light purple brightener from my Sephora Pantone Universe palette and putting it there around the corners of the mouth. Really, really lightening and making this area look as light as possible. Let me put a little bit onto my dark shadowy spot up there I was telling you about. I think maybe it's because I'm an alien. We're gonna go ahead and do the nose contouring now. For Dove's nose, we're gonna put a line right here and a line right here on either side of the nose. But again, your nose might be a little different, but I feel like that narrowing it a little bit on the sides is probably something that's going to work for most people. On top of the cream, or in this case the wax, I'm gonna do powder. I just find it sticks a little better. We're gonna use the Urban Decay Basics Naked palette and go over those lines that you just made. What you wanna do is take your beauty blender and get them all nice and filled with water. Squeeze out the water. We don't want water all over your face. A key when you're doing crazy nose contouring, especially to making it look natural, is taking some pressed powder. In this case, I'm using this Makeup Forever, and taking your damp beauty blender and then just patting it over top of that. It will pick up some of the pigment as well as seal it in with that powder to blend it in much, much better. I'm noticing the end of her nose down here is pretty light, so take some of this Foxy color and put it right here. It looks like her nose tip is rather elongated. She has a very cute nose. Our last little finishing touch for the nose is we're gonna do a highlight, kind of like the top of the tip of the nose, right through there. So I'm gonna use Virgin from the original Naked palette, and just a little line at the top of the tip. And you can go pretty heavy with it. Okay, still we can pat it in a little bit. Let's just go on and start working on the eyes, because the eyes are part of what makes Mal's look very, very Mal-ish. There's a nice shimmery purple Supernova from the Deck of Scarlet number 9 palette. Let's just tap some of this purple right here on the center of the lid. Make sure you try and keep this inner corner clean, because we want to keep that nice and bright when we go over with that frosted color. This is from the Museum of Ice Cream's collab with Sephora. They launched makeup as well as brushes. I actually have all of the brushes, and they have sprinkles inside of the handles, which is really fun. I'm still just dying how this looks like a wafer. What's it called, Vanillionaire? Yep, it's called Vanillionaire. That's amazing. And we're gonna actually, even though this is a highlight, use this in the inner corners here. So take a flat brush and start patting it in the inner corner and pull it in so it starts to blend in with that purple. Oh, this is fun. All right, so in that same Deck of Scarlet number 9, there's a shade called Drama. It is coming off a little bit grayish, which is what we want. So just a bit. Oh, that was a lot of it. The key with this one is concentrating all the dark color on the outside and all the light color on the inside, so you think light to dark. Before I go any further into this, I realized I did not put in my green contacts. So I'm gonna go put in my green contacts. All right, we're back. I've got the green contacts in. Make sure you do that before you start. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add just a little bit of more of a skin tone highlight to the brow bone. We're gonna use some Venus from the Naked Basics palette and put it right on the brow bone there. Okay, we're gonna move on to the false lashes. And this is one thing that it's super Dove Cameron, super Mal, so this is gonna make a really big difference. They're say dramatic, they definitely look dramatic. They're Eyelure, Jasmine Brown, and JB. For your lashes, dark on the outer corners, light on the inner corners. You don't want your lashes to go all the way into the center because it's gonna bring too much darkness. And even if that means cutting your lashes shorter, don't let it go in that inner part of the eye because it's just gonna bring too much dark, cast too much of a shadow down there. All right, once you've got one on, you know what to do. You gotta stick the second one on too. Strongly suggested. So now take your liquid liner and we're gonna fill in these little gaps and make a nice dramatic wing out the edge here. I like to use felt tip liquid eyeliner. Once you've got your liner on, get yourself an eyelash curler and use it to squish your real lashes in with the fake lashes. Take yourself an angled brush and tap it into some matte black. And we're gonna just pat this on over the winged line we did. We just wanna seal it in. Take any black mascara that you've got laying around. We're gonna use this to seal your natural lashes in with your false lashes. So we're not quite done with the eyes, but we wanna go ahead now and go ahead and do that under eye concealer. And I'm gonna pull out that Sephora and Pantone Universe palette again, but any orangey toned color corrector you have will work just fine. My personal favorite under eye concealer, I just threw on the floor.
I threw it on the ground.
Okay, so this is It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. A little of this goes a long way and it is amazing. I absolutely love this stuff. Seal the conceal in with my personal favorite, Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. Conceal then seal, don't let them know you haven't slept in a week. I'm gonna put it up here too because brightening my alien shadows. So I have this Jordana Just Pearly eyeliner that we're gonna do in the waterline here. I wanna also just add white and really make it pop. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take a black eyeliner, just a pencil liner, if I can find one. All right, this is a Makeup Forever Aqua Eyes waterproof black pencil, but it doesn't need to be that fancy. Just very lightly, not harsh, just a little on this outer. Here's the deal. If you're doing, I'm gonna sneeze. That's what's the deal.
That's my sneeze.
Her brows are basically covered up by the bangs if you're doing the Descendants 2 look. So I'm just gonna use the same stuff I usually use on my brows. This is a NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the color Ash Brown. We gotta do blush. We haven't done blush yet, and that's a very important part of this. This is from Deck of Scarlet, number 3. We have Baby Doll. Focus on the apples of the cheeks. Great. So we do wanna pull some up into the hairline as well to make sure that it's very natural. Sometimes I've got it, you can even do it back behind your jawline a bit. Key is apples of the cheeks and up way higher than you feel like you should be. Make sure you get your little damp beauty blender back out with some setting powder again. So now we're gonna do a little bit of highlight up here on our cheekbones. This is High Beam from Benefit. You'll notice I use this a lot. I might even, we're gonna double this up. This is a cream color base from MAC in the color Pearl. You don't wanna seal in your creams or liquid highlighters with a matte. You wanna seal it in with a shiny, shimmering Splendid. This is Silver Dusk from MAC, and it's very shiny. Maybe a bit up there on your brow bone, inner corners. So one thing that makes Dove Cameron look very Dove Cameron-y though are her very full lips. So we've got to do some work on the lips. So let's start by grabbing a Revlon Color Stay Longwear lip liner, and we're just going to line our lips. Her bottom lip is considerably larger than her top lip. Most people will need to overline, especially on the bottom. Once you finish coloring in your lips with a lip liner, we're gonna take some lipstick. I'm gonna use a bit of Dusty Rose. You can think of making your lips look fuller in the same way you think of contouring your face. Areas that you want to seem larger or more protruding, you want to be lighter, or draw light to them with things like glosses and shimmery highlights. We're going to start with, though, the matte liquid lipstick from Kylie's line and KOKO, and we're gonna use this in the center area. And the idea is we're kind of like doing a shading effect to make it look like it's very full and pouty. All right, now that I've got that light around, I'm gonna go in with this Sephora Lip Stories Sateen Cream in Berrylicious and use this on the edges and pull it in a bit to create that shadow effect. All right, now we're gonna take a lighter pink lipstick. In this case, I'm using Watermelon from Nye. We're just gonna use this to kind of blend in all of this together and lighten it up a bit because it is quite dark. One thing that Dove Cameron has on her lip is a little bit of what's called a keyhole lip. It looks like she has a little like indentation or crease right here. So we're gonna pull some dark right in there. And then it gives like a little bit of a shadow. Now we're gonna take some more of the Vanillionaire and pat it just on the puffiest parts of the lip, or the parts we want to look puffiest. Right in the center. And now we're just gonna take a plumping gloss. This is called Sally Hansen Lip Inflation, and put that right on top of that light part. And there, now we look way poutier than we did to start with. Now all we've got to do is put our hair up into a wig cap, get that wig on, and get our costume on. If you don't know how to get your hair into a wig cap, that's okay, because we've got a video for that. So I'll link in the description to that so you can see how to get even really long hair all up flat onto your head really quickly and easily. So I will be right back. Ta-da! Okay, so here I am, and if you noticed, I actually put a little piece of clean toilet paper right there to make the lip even more pronounced, since my lips are nowhere near hers, and no amount of shading is ever going to duplicate that completely in my case. Oh, I just remembered something that I forgot to do. Oh, I messed up. Okay, just take a little bit of a dark color and we're gonna make a shadow under the lip. There we go. It's a little bit more of a shadow now. Oops, now we're done. Tell me, are you excited for Descendants 3? Despite, I know there's some sad things that we're not gonna focus on the sad things right now. We all know what those are, and hopefully maybe they'll even dedicate Descendants 3 to Cameron Boyce. So let me know in the comments below, are you excited for Descendants 3? I hope you guys had a great time transforming yourselves into Mal from Descendants. Let me know what makeup tutorial you want to see next. If you want to see more videos like this, remember to subscribe and ring the little bell if you actually want to see any of them, because otherwise YouTube probably won't show them to you. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy Descendants 3, and I will see you next time. It doesn't actually make that noise. Well, you'll notice when we get to the blush section. A round of applause. This is the new look. This is it. This is it now, you guys. Ooh, hiccups. We'll see. We can just pose like this. Woo! La, 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 la. Ooh.